What's up, guys, and welcome to High Fidelity TV podcast. I am your host, Joseph No, and I'm joined by my co-host, Edwin Lee. How you doing, Edwin?
Doing great. Good to be here again.
You can find more of our episodes at highfidelitytv.wordpress.com and email us at highfidelitytvpodcast@protonmail.com and Instagram us. You can find us at highfidelitytv. Or is it High Fidelity TV Podcast? I'm not sure. One of those. Just type in High Fidelity TV and you'll find something that'll come up. So in this episode, we're just going to be talking about episode 4, season 1, episode 4, titled Good Luck and Goodbye. Episode was directed by Andrew DeYoung and written by Eli Wilson Pelton. I said directed by, right? Directed by Andrew DeYoung? Okay. Cool. And still no news about if it's gotten picked up yet or not. But I was reading an interesting article. Apparently on April 9th, 2019, when it was still in like pre-production, production hadn't started yet. The series was originally developed to be on Disney Plus. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah. And then it moved to Hulu. But apparently, while it was being developed for Disney Plus, they hadn't casted Zoe Kravitz yet, so they were trying to make it like PG rated, maybe even PG-13 rated.
Yeah.
Kind of maybe casting like, I don't know, Bella Thorne or something. You know, one of those Disney channel. Even though she's like really adult and mature now, but like that was a bad example. Anyway, but yeah. Can you imagine that?
I'm so glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, well, they knew trying to adapt the show and trying to tone all the qualities down from an R-rated film would have been damn near impossible. So
yeah, you wouldn't have things as simple as all the drinking and smoking. That's
absolutely
an important part of
the culture of the
show and the culture and the language.
It would have been called What Freaking Lily Girl instead of What Fucking Lily Girl. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really glad that didn't happen, and it turned out for the better. You know,
definitely.
Apparently, obviously, Disney Plus has just launched, so they're trying to just create as much content as they can. But yeah, great move that they didn't go that route, because I don't even know how it would even stand up to The Mandalorian. Like, what's next after The Mandalorian? High Fidelity? Like, yeah, that does not seem like a good fit. Anyway, let's get right into the episode, shall we?
Yep.
1 down, 4 to go. If you need answers, you need to go to the source. And I need to know. Why am I doomed to be left? Why am I doomed to be rejected? So I'm going to ask them. All of them. Next X on the big X list is Catman.
So we start off, again, just coming straight off the last episode. Rob seems to be doomed to be alone. So she says, let's go straight to the source, to the X's. So next on the list is Kat Monroe. So apparently, is she looking for her on the phone list? The phone? No, that was the movie, right?
Right.
The movie, Rob's like looking at the phone book, and she's in the fucking phone book. Like, Charlie should not be listening in the phone book, right?
But Rob finds her on Instagram.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was from last episode, right? Well, no, this episode. Okay. Rob is walking along the street on the sidewalk. She sees Simon in Arc plus Bow. I don't know how you say that. Arc Bow coffee shop, pretty much stalking his crush. And he pretty much like embarrasses him. He's like, I think he's like about to shoot his shot right there. You know, he's like,
definitely.
He's definitely gonna like hit on him.
And it shows again elements of Rob's character. Rob is so self-absorbed that she doesn't realize she's cock-blocking Simon.
Exactly.
Basically, it's
so
all
intrusive.
about her, and you could see Simon's a bit embarrassed / uncomfortable, and
Yeah, even his interaction with the as yet unnamed coffee shop worker, usually just giving him like standard pleasantries, like smiling, like, thank you, like where he was like getting ready to like ask him out or something maybe. So in that exchange with Rob and Simon, Rob Rob's just like, why? Well, I'm just trying to figure out, why I'm doomed to be rejected, right? And then Simon's just pretty much like, look, I never left, okay? Like all the stuff that we still do, you still pop pimples on my back, like all that stuff. I never left, like. And I just love the how he's like, I want to be off the list, like take me off your goddamn list, which was hilarious because like, I don't know,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I was just that's just he doesn't want to be on the list anymore because like I mean, technically he is an ex, but he's still around, he's still her friend. He didn't leave, so he's got a good point.
Yeah, I thought there are funny parts where Rob is clowning Simon about why are you here? What are you doing here? And
Okay, so my plan was to go chronologically, but since you're here, Simon, I'm hoping you can help me understand why I'm doomed to be left, why I'm doomed to be rejected.
You're asking me? What? Do you think I rejected you? Rob, have you forgot that I'm homosexual?
Yeah, did you know that when we got together, though?
Wait a minute, I'm one of your top 5 heartbreaks?
That's why you always closed your eyes when we had sex.
so, and he says, "Oh, some random line. Oh, they have oat milk," and she says, "What is this, Mumford and Sons?" And Mumford and Sons has become like the whipping boy of just kind of very vanilla music and
Bougie hipster kind of thing.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's my top 5 moment. So
that was actually that was
I really liked it. And then he was like $8.50 for the coffee. I was like, oh my god. I guess his attraction knows no bounds. He'll pay, anyone will pay $8.50 to talk to their crush, I guess, right?
I think this is crazy.
No, $8.50 for coffee is crazy.
So next, Charisse is putting up generic bandmates wanted ads on the bulletin board. Guy comes in wanting to use the restroom. She's like, customers only, right?
I can see the bathroom right there.
Motherfucker, just walk straight, go up the steps, make a left, walk 2 blocks, turn left, and you found it.
Yeah, and she does the okay, bye-bye, which was reminiscent of the Jack Black bye-bye, but a different context.
Yeah, right.
I think the Jack Black line was for the guy who came in to buy I just called to say I love you.
Okay, bye-bye.
But
right.
this Sharice bye-bye was, different.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye. Don't forget the bone.
So far, like, it's apparent that they're making fun of kind of like bougie people, right? Like, like kind of the consumerist culture.
Sure.
That, like, obviously, movies like High Fidelity and Ghost World were doing, right? They're just like, these people are just zombies. They're in a ghost world. They have no soul, and they're being made fun of as caricatures, right? So I like that running theme. Anyway, so Rob calls Kat. Phone number's disconnected, but she finds her on Instagram, and I love her naivete when she's like, "What is this blue check mark?"
Yeah.
And Charisse has to explain to her that that's the creme de la creme of Instagram.
Right.
Instagram has given her influencer status, so she's an influencer, so she's cream of the crop.
Oh, damn. You stalking Kat Monroe? What's wrong with you?
Stalking her. Wait, how do you know Kat?
'Cause I own my own cellular device.
And she's just like, oh, you slid into her DMs. And she's like, oh, she left you on scene. And it informs us that, like, Charisse is more, like, in tune with, like, modern.
Sure, she's with it.
Yeah, she's with, like, modern culture. She knows what's up with Instagram and all that stuff.
You sure you really dated her?
Yeah,
And you slid into her DMs?
I guess.
Ooh. She left it on scene.
Wait, you can see she saw it?
She is an evil petty bitch and I fucking love her.
She can't get a hold of Kat yet. And so she goes to her next ex, which is Justin Kitt. My least favorite ex. I find him just grating and personality-less. I don't know. But she goes to find him at his stand-up show. He still has a stand-up routine, I guess. And he spots her in the crowd and talks to her after. And she finds out that he has a kid and a baby mama, right?
Which, makes her feel some empathy for him. He doesn't seem like he's in a good place. Doesn't seem happy.
Dating apps, who's swiping? Anybody?
Rob Brooks. I thought that was you.
In the flesh.
Still drinking whiskey neat like a tough guy?
Still drinking vodka soda like a little bitch.
She finds out that she's trying to find out why he rejected her, right?
Yeah.
And then in the middle of that, she's like, well, he's like, yeah, the reason why you broke up with me, blah, 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 blah. And she's saying to herself, like, I broke up with him. Like, this makes total sense. And, like, it just changes the complete context of her whole strategy. And I thought it was funny because it mirrors the scene in the film, right? Where Rob was talking to the girl, I forget her name in the film, but the girl that wouldn't put out. You know, not Penny?
Yes, Penny Hardwick.
Penny Hardwick. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I love that actress too. I forget what she's in, but Joelle Carter. Oh, she's in Justified. That's where I know her from. Yeah, she's got a great face. She looks great for 47. Anyway, so she's just like, yeah, you know, I broke up with him, and in the film, Rob was just like, I broke up with her, right? But in the film, it's completely different context, obviously. Penny Hardwick is... I just love that scene in the movie where when he finds out that, like, when he dumps her, because she wouldn't put out, he's like, what's the point? It never goes anywhere, right? And then the next scene, he's, like, in chemistry class. And then the guy's just, like, telling him how, like, she got with him. And he's just, like, looking, and then, like, the thing explodes.
Right, that little beaker.
Yeah, because he's just, like, thinking about it for so long. And I guess that was the whole point of that in the yeah, again, it goes to show you how self-centered Rob is, right? She just doesn't even realize that she broke up with him. She's like, why am I doomed for rejection? All right, I broke up with you. So cool. Simon. Oh, the next scene, Simon tells Charisse to be a little more specific with her ad. Not just badass. Badass is just so generic, right? I like the scene because, well, Electric Relaxation is playing in the background by Tribe. Tribe Called Quest. The song made infamous by the Wayans Brothers. In that same scene, like Charisse is all like caught up with her own thing, and she's like in the middle of the counter, and Rob's like, "I'm sorry, are these in the way?" He's like, "Yeah, can you move them out, please?" I thought that was hilarious. That was by number 2 moment. So, Rob gets a hold of Kat, and Kat invites her over. We don't know. We think it's gonna be like an intimate thing, right?
Yeah.
And then so Rob goes up to pick up some Pacifico. And another quiet little moment. Carlos recognizes she's wearing lipstick. She's like, "You wearing lipstick?" He's like, "You're wearing lipstick."
You wearing lipstick? No. It's lipstick.
Shut up.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I like his character.
Yeah, I like Carlos. So Rob goes to the party. Probably one of my least favorite moments is the party, but I did like the moment where she gives her like that oversized coat to wear. She's just like, you know, you don't look like you vibe with this guy. I'm gonna dress you up, like. So that's my number 4 moment. She dresses her for her little influencer marketing party.
You know, I've got the cutest jacket today, and I think you might be the only person here who would just pull it off. Trust me. Just try it on.
I think I'm fine.
Trust me.
She just like ditches her. She's like, "Go mingle. I gotta, do my thing. Go mingle." And then a girl comes up to her and asks her to take a photo, right?
That
She's
part's hilarious.
Yeah, because obviously it's making fun of these people, right? She's like, "You don't have to make it look good. You just make it look fucked up and vibey."
Yeah.
I was like, "Vibey? The fuck?" So that's my number 4 moment.
Just the whole party just is a statement on modern selfie culture, social media culture. I thought the actress who plays Kat evokes the character, the Catherine Zeta-Jones character a lot in the movie. There's a funny line where Rob says, commenting on the silliness of how Kat talks, she said, "Oh, this is seriously how she talks. What is this, a John Hughes movie?"
Exactly.
This is kind of just the stuff that comes out of her.
Right, yeah, because she does talk like kind of like an elevated, like intellectual, like, right?
Yeah.
But Kat Monroe is played by Ivana Sakno. Sorry. Well, so she's credited as Kat Monroe, Rob's heartbreak story number 2.
And the way that Rob knows what Kat's gonna say before she says it, like she knows she's gonna say the word remarkable.
Right.
And yeah, is how predictable in a way
Yeah.
Kat is.
But I did like how they made the party like a marketing, like a social media marketing party.
Yeah.
Not just like some bougie rich party.
Which-
Because it gives them like a sense of purpose, right? Like they are marketing this for social media.
And I think it also shows the shallowness of their lives, in particular Kat's lives. These aren't her friends. Like you imagine
she,
a
like-
party, it's all your close friends, but
Uh-huh.
some of these people she hadn't even met face to
Exactly,
face,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so it's like they aren't even really her friends.
It's all just an
not
influencer
even
party.
her house. Like you think it's her place, but then she reveals, oh, this is just a rental.
Exactly.
So everything's just kind of empty and just all on the surface.
Yeah. It's
so-
all just we realize we find out later it's all soju money. It's
Yeah.
like the Korean soju
Exactly.
money is there's a lot of deep pockets in that, right?
Yeah.
So
Good memory.
and that's kind of realistic, very realistic.
I think one of my top moments was when Rob is having a conversation with the woman who says, "Oh, this is actually the first time I'm meeting her face to face in real life," and Rob has a little aside to the camera and says, "I should hate these people, and I think I do," and then she's like, "Just give me a second," where she's reserving judgment.
Yeah.
But in the end, it just confirms what she had already thought. But when that person she was talking to was, saying some good things here and there, I think Rob was holding out maybe a little bit of hope that, oh, maybe these people aren't as bad as I think they are. But-
Again, it goes to show you that like Rob does have character, and she's more open minded, and I like that part about her.
Yeah.
Again, like, but later, she like full out lays out like judgment upon him with Simon and Shreese, but then we'll get to that later. But so after the party's over, yeah, Kat gives her a breakdown of why she broke up with her, right? And this is a nice little kind of deep character moment, because even though it does mirror the film where she's like, "Oh, I knew it. Fuck.
Yeah.
I knew you were going through this.
What does
it all mean? Things, right?" And then like, so Kat gives her pretty much like a rundown of like,
So, Kat, why'd you leave me for Caitlin?
Oh my god, fuck! I fucking knew it! I fucking won, motherfucker! I knew that you were going through one of those what does it all mean things. I fucking knew it, I'm telling you. Shit!
I am.
pretty much like you were in search of yourself, and you're just too much work for me, and then that's why I left you for this other girl, right? And you were kind of obsessive and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
pretty much just telling her like the truth.
Right, as unlikable as Kat's character is, she does hit it
Yeah.
on the head,
Yeah.
where she says you're consumed by all the things you love, and that
Yeah.
encapsulates Rob's character.
To a T,
Totally,
you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, even though I like the fact that like even though she is kind of like portrayed as this, bougie marketing tycoon type person, she does have like another layer to her, and she does tell the truth. And she didn't become successful by accident. She tells the truth, and she says things at face value, so in that sense she does stay true to her character and does tell Rob the truth, and it is and does end up really being helpful to Rob in the end. So I thought that was a cool character moment.
Is that it?
You could also be a bit obsessive, like, a little too in touch with your feelings.
Okay.
I hope it's not hurtful. You seem like you're doing great now, if it's, any consolation.
For Rob, if anything, you know what I mean? Even though as much as I don't really like the Cat character, it does do something for us to get an insight to Rob. So anyway, my number one moment here coming up comes with Simon approving of Charisse's two-page ad, and I got a clip here I want to play for you guys.
Oh, shit. Read it to me.
Okay. Front woman looking for a band. Once in a generation souls. Samurai. Front woman Aretha meets Ann Wilson. Meets Wilson Pickett. Meets Cree Summer. Meets Prince, but taller and not such a weirdo. Seeks galactic cowboy supergroup.
Read my motherfucking influences.
Influences must include Stevie Wonder, 66, 77. Only James Brown. Live at the Apollo, 63, mostly side A.
Only side A.
King Crimson, but not so Prague. Dunyan, but more Nordic. Cream, but only Ginger and Jack. Tambourine, oh my guitar, Gently Reeves. Tambourine on Edward Starr's War. Think Brian Eno, producing Beyonce, fronting Soul Coughing. Daniel Ash on guitar. See Sharice in the store for more info. That's definitely more specific.
Definitely more specific, right? I love everything about this scene. Once in a generation soul samurai. Definitely more specific, right? Edwin Starr.
Yep.
Got your name in there. Do you have any records by Edwin Starr, Edwin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely like War is all-time classic. That was my top moment of this episode as well, because it's all just stuff that speaks to the music geeks. It's like, if you weren't a music fan, that whole part would be like a foreign language. You're like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
But all of those very specific references of years and musicians' names and band names, it's like it speaks to their characters, but it speaks to every music fan out there as well.
To the layperson, they'd be like, "No, tone that down. Tone that down a bit." And then Simon's just like, "That's definitely most." He like approves instantaneously. So it's just like that made it so much more funny when he's just like, "There you go, you nailed it." It's like, nailed it. So next scene, you want to add anything more to that or move on?
Yeah, move on. Well, you know what, I jotted something down my notes. I think in that exchange there was a mention of Cree Summer. Do you recall that? But I just know Cree Summer from being an actress in A Different World, and I had the biggest crush on Cree Summer, so I thought that was an interesting reference, because Lisa Bonet being in A Different World, maybe it was like kind of a shout out to...
Oh, right. Cree Summer meets Prince, but taller and not such a weirdo.
Yeah. Because I'm not aware of Cree Summer's musical career. I just know her as being in that show, but it piques my interest in what her music would sound like.
Yeah, I don't know who Cree Summer is. Sorry. Okay, cool. So moving on. We could talk about that for ages. So, back at the bar, the trio is making fun of Kat's Instagram. She's like, yeah, she live streams her workout. She's definitely fucked up. I don't know what she says, but next on my list is Mac, right?
Yeah,
obviously,
right,
number
right,
5.
Right.
So, and then Simon's like, well, Sharice is like, what do you think the chances are she's gonna fuck Mac?
Simon says 50-50.
Yeah, right.
Quit before you get to the one that broke your heart.
Mac is next.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Nope, I'm doing it.
Okay, sure.
4 down, 1 to go.
Yo, what is the probability that she gonna fuck Mac?
50-50.
So, brings us to the end of the episode. Rob goes to Mac's apartment. I guess she's a bit drunk.
Yeah.
She's like on the steps of his brownstone or something, or apartment.
Yeah,
complex.
she's like walking downstairs.
Yeah. And then Marco's the cat. Mac sees... I'm getting ahead of myself. Mac sees her on the steps. She's about to leave, and she invites him up for a drink. And so they have a drink. Rob visits Marco. Hey, Marco, she loves the cat. And they, exchange pleasantries. How are you? How you been? Stuff like that. Mac ends up revealing that he listened to the playlist, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else I'm missing?
Well, before that, Rob notices that Mac got his own turntable, but she does comment, "Oh, you got to work on your record collection, though,"
Yeah.
which is
It's sparse.
it's such a telling comment from
pathetic.
a music snob. You know, like, oh, you know,
Yeah.
you could do better.
You got your own.
Yeah, you trained me well. Computer speakers will never sound the same.
Need to work on your record collection, though. That is pitiful, my friend.
I know.
And it's funny because, you know, having a record collection these days and having turntables kind of a badge of honor these days and a sign of, you know.
I mean, look at your record collection. I cut you. Edwin, Jesus Christ. It's like, you really shouldn't keep them stacked up like that. You get really pressured, you know?
Yeah, I got to work on that. But, you know, how many Instagram photos you see of people with their cute little turntable and maybe they might have like 15 records. Ooh, so impressive. You know, Rob would have said the same thing, like, yeah, big deal.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. You have your Fleetwood Mac Rumors album, and you've got your one Beyonce album and your one Tame Impala album, but come on.
Your Random Access Memories, Daft Punk.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So this is my number 3 moment. One of my last top moments. Mac listened to the playlist, and he says,
Stoked, though. I've been listening.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In order?
Do you think I'm a crazy person? I learned my lesson many moons ago, Rob. Thou shalt not shuffle the ladies'
I'm
playlist.
just saying it's like that for a reason. There's a story there, man.
Oh, I get it.
"Thou shalt not shuffle the ladies' playlist." I thought that was really great. So that made my number 3 spot of the top 5 moments.
Yeah, I think that's a comment to this kind of old school, new school debate where
The order of the playlist matters. It does,
yeah,
really.
I feel like with the age of just the song dominating the album, the order
Yeah.
of songs doesn't. It's not that it doesn't matter. It just is irrelevant in a way. It doesn't enter anyone's thinking. They're just listening to the song.
Yeah.
And so, to someone like Rob, of course, or any of them, Sheree, Simon,
like you said,
the order matters.
Yeah.
And knowing what the first track on a certain album is important to them, but, you know, for
the
I
casual,
hate to
the casual
say
listener, it doesn't really matter.
it sounds like, you know, the old guy. Oh, kids these days, what they don't know.
That's not an old guy thing. It's a music lover thing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's what this show is trying to get at.
Yeah.
Is the to be a music lover is a special thing,
Right,
And
sure.
and certain things are very important to music lovers.
It's not only a music lover thing; it's a structural thing. It's like a storytelling thing, right?
Sure.
It's like you want to get the added benefits of this playlist. You gotta listen to it in order. You know what I mean? You want to know what I'm feeling. You want to know the intentions of what I made this playlist for. You gotta listen to it in order, right? So I think, that's great. And obviously, one of the lines of the past episodes was closers are tough, right? So, and then she played, the Sinead O'Connor.
Oh yeah, nothing compares to you.
compares to you.
And
Brain
if you
fart
want to compare working in a record store, being a music lover, to being a DJ, which both Robs were in the movie and the show, you know, to a DJ orders everything.
Yeah,
What song you
absolutely.
play next is everything.
Yeah.
What song came before the song you're going to play next, and the song that's going to come after.
Yeah.
It's everything, and so
Definitely
definitely speaking to me on that level.
For sure. I mean, quick side note, but I'm in a Serato group on Facebook, and one of the debates was one guy, just like a newbie DJ, just like, what do you think? Play bangers all night? Just fire tracks all night? And then there's a huge debate, like, Hell no. Hell no. You need to build up to that. You know, you don't play bangers all fucking night. You're gonna fade out. You know what I mean? Like, you need to build up to that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't play like Usher's Yeah, like when nobody's dancing.
Sure.
You play that when it's fire, when like it's fucking popping off. You know what I mean? You don't play Montel Jordan's like
This is how we do it.
this is how we do it. You don't play that in the, like when nobody's dancing. You play it when it's that guy did not know what he's talking about, but I get where he's coming from. He's just like, I just want to be fire all the time.
Sure.
But no, there's an order to it. There's a hierarchy. You need to build up to it. It's like sex, you know. Like I think one of my comments is like I compared it to sex.
Sure.
Like, you don't just orgasm. You foreplay, and then the orgasm is much like better after the foreplay. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it's a little gratuitous of a.
No, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
And even after like all of this intensity, you need
A break.
kind of like
Yeah.
a break.
Exactly.
And, you know, if the dance floor's pumping, and I know you want to just keep that going, which I totally understand, but, you know, is a reason for kind of having a bit of a rest. And just kind of like having that dynamic of high intensity and then kind of a little bit of a lull.
Yep.
And then bring it back up.
If anything, for the bar sales too, because like
sure.
if you keep them on the dance floor for too long, they're not gonna have a chance to go to get a drink at the bar.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So you gotta all in moderation.
Sure.
Pretty much is what I'm saying. So I'm glad we got that little thing out of the way, because as a DJ, like it's hard to get that across to the younger people who don't know, you know, how to control a crowd. You know what I mean? So moving on to talking about Lily. Rob asks, so Rob kind of pussies out, right? Rob's like, came here for a reason. She's like, she wanted to ask him, you know, why'd you reject me? Kind of spoiler territory there, but
I want you to tell me that it's not serious between you two. I want you to tell me that you haven't proposed yet. And I want that to be the truth.
I can't do that, Rob.
because we don't know what happened. We don't really know what
Sure,
happened.
sure.
But Rob asks Mac if they're serious, pretty much. And then, pretty much, to sum up, she wants to hear that they're not serious. And she wants to hear that, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's not serious, and it's just like a phase, I don't know, whatever. And then Mac responds, I can't do that. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think about this whole scene?
I thought emotionally, dramatically, this so far in all the episodes was the most emotionally heavy scene, and I appreciated that.
Yeah.
So I liked that scene.
Yeah, a little too short, but because besides the scene where she sees Mac again for the first time in episode 1, this is because I mentioned this to you before. The only time we're seeing real Mac is that scene in episode 1 and this scene, because every other scene we're seeing with Mac in it is through Rob's perspective. Mm-hmm. So it's not even a real accurate portrayal. We're seeing it through the viewpoint of Rob, and it could be like lovingly portrayed. Sure. It could be, it's skewed because she's looking at Rob. Rob is looking at Mac in like, you know, this higher elevated form, right? Sure. She's like going through like the best moments and like putting him up on a pedestal, pretty much, right? So it's not like a real depiction of Mac as a human being, as a fully fleshed like character. So like these little small moments where we get to see a Mac are kind of invaluable in that sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I like Mac's character because Mac is a nice counterpoint to Rob's self-absorption where everything's revolving, and he stands up for himself, and he's not a pushover, and he doesn't just tell her, he doesn't just indulge her. He's like, no, this isn't right, or
Yeah,
it wasn't that
challenges
way,
her. Yeah.
right? He definitely does challenge her, and I think that's an interesting contrast between the two characters.
Right. Yeah, and it's great that we're just seeing bits and bits of Mac right now, because again, I don't want to spoil anything, but in future episodes when we eventually do get to know Mac more, it'll be a lot more revealing, right? Because I mean, it is a TV show; they have to withhold stuff, and they can't give away too much information, right? So the element of surprise is more up to par in a television show. Cool. So the end of the last scene, Rob goes home crying. She didn't hear what she wanted to hear, and she sees the woman smoking alone again in her apartment. And we get to close it out with the Bowie track, "It Ain't Easy" from the Ziggy Stardust album, which I thought was a great, in keeping with like the Bowie.
Yeah, Bowie seems to have a special place in Rob's heart.
So shall we get to our final thoughts of the episode?
Sure.
And then rating. So I particularly was not a huge fan of this episode. I thought it was okay. I like the idea of, on paper, of like her visiting her exes and going through, trip down memory lane and going through all their exes, but the exes weren't that interesting, and Kat in particular wasn't that great. So I didn't have a whole lot of fun with this episode. It took away time from hanging out with Simon and Charisse. Cameron and Nikki was his fiance or wife.
That sounds right.
Yeah. So in that regard, I'd like to hang out with the core group of characters more. But I get it. It's Rob going through this journey, so we have to go through it now. But because of that, I give this episode 3 out of 5 stars. What about you, Edwin?
I liked it about as much as the previous episode.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 3.5.
Okay.
I'm not. I agree. Like the cat character and
just in case.
Yeah, they're not really sympathetic characters, but that is explained within the context of the story. So I'm not going to hold the episode. I'm not going to judge how I feel about the episode based on the characters, because I think it's part of the story.
Yeah, and they're basically there to inform Rob anyway.
Right. But yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. It was good. It was solid. There's plenty of funny parts and heavy parts. But in terms of the energy and the excitement that I felt from the first 2 episodes, it wasn't quite there.
Yeah, not up to par. Because I did like a lot of moments. Again, be more specific with your ad. Yeah. So I like that it's setting something up with Charisse and her trying to find a band, right?
Yeah,
and then Simon with his crush. We know we're going to see more of that later.
I think that's a good way of putting it. It felt like it's just a bridge to setting up other things, and so those things haven't popped off yet, but you could see it establishing those things. So it felt kind of more like a supportive thing where you don't see the payoff on those things. Yeah. So yeah.
Cool. Does this episode do a good job of making you look forward to it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I'm on board, and it's definitely hooked me.
Right. Yeah. Me too. I mean, I some stuff I want to look forward to is obviously Simon's future, more characterization of Simon, more to see of Charisse and her endeavors with her band mates, looking to do more musically, and Liam. We didn't get to see any Liam this episode, I believe. So, Rob left things off kind of rough with Liam. So, But I hope to see Liam some more. I hope to see more of Cameron. I hope to see more of Nikki. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to look forward to. But yeah, I definitely do. I am looking forward to more episodes. So if there's anything more you want to add, Edwin?
I think you summed it up. There's a lot to wonder about. Characters you haven't seen in a while, like Clyde.
Right? We haven't even seen him since episode
just
1.
Yeah, just a one night stand kind of thing. But at the same time, he seemed like he might come back and be more important. And yeah, it just leaves a lot of things open that make me want to see the next episode.
Absolutely. Cool. So with that concludes the episode. You can find more of our episodes at highfidelitytv.wordpress.com. Email us at highfidelitytvpodcast@protonmail.com. Find us on Instagram at highfidelitytv. And you can find Edwin at Bedwin Lee.
Yes.
And thank you, Edwin, for joining me.
My pleasure, as always.
And see you guys next time.